Hello guys, today we're talking about will dyslexia ruin my Christmas? About will the challenges of dyslexia make this Christmas not as fun? And the challenges we're going right now with COVID and especially in the UK with this new strain and all this other stuff. Will this ruin my Christmas? I hope you enjoyed today's episode, guys, and please share, please subscribe, please comment. Anyway guys, to enjoy today's episode. So the big question is this: how can dyslexics like us create a place, a community, a tribe where people at any stage of life can come and solve any challenge, amplify their strengths, and ultimately help them become who they were meant to be, or in other words, conquer their dyslexia? That is the question, and this show is the answer. My name's Theo Goff, and welcome to the Conquering Dyslexia podcast. What's happening, guys? I hope we're doing good. Now today I want to talk about something that recently came up in my head. Will dyslexia ruin my Christmas? Will my own dyslexia, having these difficulties, having these challenges, ruin this Christmas I have? And I want to talk about this and talk about how sometimes we feel that our dyslexia can take over certain situations and ruin it. But first off, I want to say that in this Christmas, I'll get into it. This Christmas is unlike a Christmas I've ever experienced in my life because of the limitations, obviously, because you can't see your brothers here in England. You can't see your family. You can't travel. You can't meet more than one people. You can't do these festive things that we always do each year. It's kind of like a buzz, and it lifts us up. And I'll kind of like talk about that and express that. Look, yes, we have dyslexia, and yes, obviously we're in these negative times, as it were, and all these limitations and restrictions that are on us. But also say, look, this doesn't have to be a time where you sit here and you say, okay, this is the worst Christmas ever. Can't wait for this to be over. When actually we can flip this on its head. We can say, look, yes, we have these obstacles, yes, we have these challenges, but how can we make this more beautiful? How can we take advantage of this so-called negative situation and try and flip it around? Now, first off, I want to say that, look, there's so many of us in such worse situations than I am or other people in, you know what I mean? Like, not being able to see someone is nowhere near as bad. Not be able to see someone because of during COVID and restrictions is nowhere near as bad as not be able to see someone because they're very, very ill and we don't want to get infected. Not be able to see someone because they're no longer around anymore. You understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of us have got family members, maybe got older family members we want to see, and we can't see them right now at this time, and it can bring up loads of negative emotions. But imagine, try and flip it on its head, like trying to imagine them being in a so much more worse situation than they are now. Then be grateful that they're not in that situation. Be grateful that you have that. And also, so many people nowadays demonize technology, don't they? They say, oh, technology is so bad, it's keeping us away of having all these deeper connections. But imagine having this own scenario your scenario now with Christmas, things like that, without having technology. How much harder would it be? Without being able to FaceTime someone all across the world. It'd be so much more harder, wouldn't it? And I know how these challenges can affect us, but how dyslexic challenges can affect us in this, because sometimes some of us can't figure out technology because of the words, maybe because we're writing a lot of letters, maybe because we might be sending a lot of messages to speak to them on the phone. But I want to be frank. When I'm speaking, I want to be honest. If we feel that our dyslexia is ruining our Christmas in this year, you've got a much bigger problem. It's not your dyslexia, it's your mindset. It's the blaming mentality, it's the victim mentality. And I want to be honest. You know what I mean? If you're sort of sitting here saying, my life's so much more worse because I got dyslexia, now Christmas is going to be ruined because I got dyslexia, that's complete victim mentality. That's complete blaming. You mean blaming everyone else? You mean there's complete saying, look, I need help. It's like saying that, I've got dyslexia and everyone's to help me and it's bad and my life is worse and nothing's my fault, it's all my dyslexia. Well, that's completely untrue. If you listen to this, you know that's untrue. But I'm saying this because some of us might fall in a trap now and again of, yes, things feel hard. You mean, you try something, you fail at it. You work really hard on something, you fail at it. Things seem hard, I get that. But oftentimes we can get caught up in a loop, can't we, of really thinking, okay, this job didn't work out, this opportunity didn't work out, I tried this and it failed, it's all because of my dyslexia. Well, actually that isn't it? And you might say, oh, because I had a job that didn't work out because they wanted me to do some reading or writing, my boss didn't understand that dyslexia, and therefore that job didn't work out and I'm not be able to be financially stable for this COVID situation that's going really, really hard at the moment. You could sit here and blame your dyslexia, of course you could. But some people might say that, look, you're allowed to blame. You've been through some really hard times that people not understood you. But how is that going to make things any better? How is that going to make you move any forward? Because there's no reason of focusing on something and putting your time, your energy into something that has no benefit for you. That won't move you forward in your life. And now we're focusing on to, okay, circumstances now, in this Christmas, in this time, like any other. This is an opportunity. I know what I may say, and people think, well, how do you think it's an opportunity? This can't be an opportunity. This is a time of really struggle and really you may not be able to do things. And I'm not about to see family members. I can't do the things I normally do, I want to do. But listen, here's the way I think about it. When there's news about, this new strain of virus, when news about this, when news about that, I don't watch news, I just hear it when it's useful. Like, this stuff is useful. Okay, closing down the ports, this is useful. What's happening in the supermarkets, that's useful. But listen, if you think, I'm going to focus, I'm going to put time and energy into it, 1 second more than I need to, 1 second that would waste time into, you'd be wrong. I would not spend more time focusing on it. I wouldn't spend more time, saying how bad it is, feeling sorry for myself, feeling sorry about how everything is. Because the more time I say about how bad something, the more focus I put on something I cannot control, the more I feel like I'm not in control of my life. The more focus, I hate staying at home. I love going outside, going to Costa, just being active. I love that because I can be focused. And it's harder when I don't do it. But if I'm focusing on what I'm missing out on, of what I lost, of what I can't get, how do you think that would make me feel? It wouldn't make me feel good at all. Not at all. And guess what? Here's what I'm about to say. Because, yes, situations are harder than they normally are. You have to focus on different things. You have to do the things that you normally do. And I get that. That's hard. But guess what? It's also hard for everyone else. It is. And here's the thing, you know what I'm saying is true. Why focus on something you can't control? You know what I'm saying is true. But here's the thing, everyone else in your family is struggling. All of your friends are struggling. And the real way you can help them, this is what wanted to say, throughout this Christmas time period, is give something back to them. Because they're down, this is why you need to raise your standards, to be able to cheer other people up. Do you know the amount of other people that's helping now because of the COVID, and since the start of the COVID, loads of people have gone out, took the extra step in helping, took the extra step in adding more value in, contributing. And they're happier because they've done these things. They made a lot more progress because they've done these things. I'm saying to you, step up. Step up in this situation and be able to help your friends, be able to help your family members. And yeah, that might mean grab the shopping, you probably always do that, but I don't mean that. I mean opportunity for you to connect. So maybe not all your family, your big family can come round for a Christmas dinner and get drunk and do all these different things. Maybe that can't happen. But maybe what can happen is you think about each individual person in your family, and then you think of something nice to say about them, or you really want to call them up and say something, I really admire this about you. You've taught me this, and I want to say I love you. I want to say, you remember a time that you had so much more fun with your brother, with your sister, and your friend, and you just speak about that. And you speak about how it makes you feel. You speak about how important that person is in your life. And you kind of like focus on the love that you had, focused on the amount of care you had, because in order to like be alive now, because this is how human beings like work, in order to survive, in order to, you know what I mean, like live life, people had to love you, people had to sacrifice for you when you were younger. People had to, you know what I mean, look after you, do things for you, put you in front of their needs. All the time, there's so many people out there that's helped you, so many people out there that you really bonded with. Now, why not take the time to phone them up? Why not take the time to write a magnificent letter that's got really heart and a lot of soul in, so they know the impact they've had on your life? They know it. And guess what? This ain't comfortable. Doing this is not comfortable at all. But I promise you, it would help you. I promise you, like, it would heal that bond. Because so many times there's so much pain from, like, you mean, like, not healing the certain wounds that we have with our parents, certain wounds we have with our brother, with our sister, with, you know what I mean, with, you mean, like, our kids or whatever. And the way we can focus, I do really, really feel that this is kind of the answer moving forward, because Christmas time, this is the way I look at it. Like, it's weird if you think about it. I was having a conversation with my mum the other day about Christmas and how it's all basically, look, all cultures, no matter what culture you have, all cultures have their rituals. They have rituals maybe when someone's born, when someone dies, when someone, you mean, becomes a man or becomes a woman, gets pregnant, has a baby. There's all these rituals that go on in cultures. Either rituals that's in someone's lifetime, you mean like big moments in life, or there's rituals yearly, like a birthday, like a Christmas, like you mean, I don't want to say something because I might get them wrong, but it's human nature to have rituals. It is. It's human nature. Look at all these different cultures. They have these rituals. Either once a week they will dance around a campfire, singing this song, and you mean like they're having so much more fun. They have a big feast, or like it could be a family ritual. You're eating together, but we have these rituals as part of human nature, and it kind of helps us, kind of grounds us, kind of makes us connected. And Christmas, all Christmas is a ritual. Yes, you may say, okay, it's in deep rooted in religion, but all these religions, all these cultures have these rituals to make us feel connected, to make us feel, you know what I mean, one, giving back, you mean, enjoying ourselves. And all Christmas is a ritual we do. You mean, it's our ritual, it's our tradition. That's what it is. Other people don't celebrate it, but we celebrate it. And just, I always like looking at it from like a point of view, looking in, outside point of view, looking in, as picking the Christmas tree up, having Christmas lights, having, you mean, like displays, singings, these songs. Because all these rituals, oftentimes we play certain songs in rituals, you know what I mean, like certain prayers, like certain things. Christmas songs are the same thing. They put us in that state, even though we listen to them for decades on end, they still put us in the same state, in the same mood, and still focus on the ritual. And why do we get happier? Why do we get happier at Christmas time? Because that's the ritual, because that's what we're supposed to do, because that's what we do when we hear the music, when we see the Christmas tree, when we see the Christmas lights. What about the music? What about the Christmas lights make us happier? Well, it's not the Christmas lights, it's not the actual music, it's what we made it mean to us. Oh, it's Christmas time. Let's get happy, let's get joyful, let's give thanks. And right now, I think, try and make this time mean something like giving thanks, giving something to other people. And maybe you won't be able to send them all the presents, give them all the gifts as you normally do. But maybe give them thanks by appreciating them and really being grateful that they were there in your life. And I know this one, what I'm saying now, is a bit kind of that off topic as you were. But why not think about that? Why not really call that person up, especially someone you had a fight with, especially someone that you mean that you're not getting on with at all. Because I remember this is a big thing in developing yourself, massive thing in, you mean, healing the wounds with the relationships that you have, massive. And I remember I went to this event, and the whole thing they talked about for like 3 days non-stop is calling someone up and saying that, look, you mean, saying you love them and healing whatever wounds are coming past, and do not blame and just have it all on yourself. And I remember basically me and my brother lives out in Thailand, and he's about 3.5 years older than me. And we're very different people. Like when I was younger, I always looked up to him, but we're very, very different people. And we've never had a very close relationship. Never had that. And I always feel like, because like he live in Thailand, he always calls my mum up, and it's like when we chat, it's always surface level, you know what I mean? It's always surface level, and it's never goes to any like deep anyway. And I remember going to this event, knowing knowing I should call him, knowing this, knowing that, knowing what I want to say, and I was so nervous. It took me like a day to call him. And I finally called him up, and like I said the things I wanted to say. I was like, look, I don't feel we've had a close connection. It was my fault, and I want to move forward. I want to be honest. I want for us to feel like a human brothers. I want us to feel connected, feel like a family, not like, oh, this is you and me, my brother, and we're not like friends and things like that. I want to move forward. And it was like, okay. That's it. I was like, oh, it was like, oh, okay. And I think he said that's a bit weird or something like that, but because we didn't move anywhere from there. But the whole point for me personally was just to say it. You know what I mean? Just nothing massively changed, but it was just saying, it was just opening it up, and I really feel that we can start being a bit more open in our relationships. And here's the thing: being open is taking responsibility of yourself and not blaming. Not saying you done wrong, not saying it's your fault you done this. Why do you have to treat people like this? Because that doesn't get anything anywhere. Really try and understand and move forward in these certain relationships. But anyway, I can't really get too deep into that because it's a podcast. This is what I'm speaking about. You won't be able to fully understand. Like anyway, guys, I hope you really enjoyed today's episode. And anyway, I hope we had a good Christmas plan. Take care, guys. Farewell and bye.